just from my back. I could not listen then until she let me go. I felt my world was flooded, staring at the sky. But as she flew away, thought I heard her say, yeah, drink the water, drink the water, drink the water, to keep from drowning. Oh yeah, to keep from drowning. Oh yeah. And then one day I found wings of my own, standing right here on my feet. I wasn't certain how this whole thing worked, but I guess that I don't need to try. The night or day could free all these precious things. No hands too hard to lend a while, and every heart is an angel's work of art that still gets lost sometimes every day, yeah. But it's still turning, you're still turning. Drink the water, drink the water, drink the water, to keep from drowning. Oh yeah, to keep from drowning. Oh yeah. Oh, drink the water, yeah, yeah, yeah. Drink the water, yeah, yeah, yeah. Drink the water, yeah, 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 yeah. Drink the water.
In the ever-shifting waters of the river of this life, I was swimming, seeking comfort. I was wrestling waves to find a boulder I could cling to, a stone to hold me fast, where I'd let the fretful waters of this river around me pass. And so I found an anchor, a blessed resting place, a trusty rock I called my Savior, for there I would be safe from the river and its dangers, and I proclaim my rock divine, and I prayed to it protect me, and the rock replied, God is a river. not just a stone. God is a wild, raging rapids and a slow, meandering flow. God is a deep and narrow passage, a peaceful, sandy shore. God is a river swimmer, so let go. Still I clung to my rock tightly, with conviction in my arms, never looking at the stream to keep my mind from thoughts of harm. But the river kept on coming, kept on tugging at my legs, till at last my fingers faltered and I was swept away. So I'm going with the flow now, these relentless twists and bends, acclimating to the motion and a sense of being led. And this river is like my body now, it carries me along through the ever-changing scenes and by the rocks that sing this song. God is a river, not just a stone. God is a wild, raging rapids and a slow, meandering flow. God is a deep and narrow passage, a peaceful, sandy shore. God is a river swimmer, so let go. God is the river swimmer, so let go. Thanks, John.
Good morning. Glad to have you here with us today. This is All Souls Unitarian Universalist Church Shreveport's online service. We've been doing this a while now, and we are always glad when you join us. We hope that you'll connect through the comments and stuff as we go along. We're trying to do this as live as possible so that we are here together in spirit and we can feel one another across the space and distance. This church is built on covenant rather than creed. We are here in our promises of how we will be together and try to be in this world. And we don't have to think alike to love alike. I've heard that attributed to other people, but we know it to be Francis David, one of the earlier historical figures in our tradition. We hope that if you've not been with us before, you'll take the time to learn a little bit more about Unitarian Universalism, or let us know if you'd like to have more information about this congregation. We are still a ways from coming back together in person. Things are again crazy in our community, and sadly so. We hope all of you will be safe and use your heads. If we can do anything for you, we hope you will let us know that also. I'm delighted that this morning we have our board president with us to share some announcements.
Good morning. We have weekly events here at the Unitarian Church in Shreveport. Adult religious education takes place just before this service at 9 a.m. via Zoom. And then we have the worship service at 11, which you're watching now. It is live right now, but you can always watch it on our Facebook at another time if you miss it. Religious education programs for children and youth is normally weekly and you can see it on Zoom and links on our website. But right now, there are no classes this Sunday, and Miss Susan will give you more details about the classes. Coffee hour is after the worship service on Zoom. Click your link on the website. If you can't find it, search for coffee hour and read further on the worship information for today, and the link is right there. Every Wednesday we have a Zoom lunch, and Saturdays there's a meditation with Larry, and all of these are on our website, so you can join us at any time you want to. Our August giveaway, the plate recipient, is the YWCA's Dialogue on Race this month. A lot can tell you about a church by who their social justice partners are. And this church social justice partners are the Louisianians for Prison Alternatives, Northern and Central Louisiana Interfaith, National Organization for Women in the Shreveport-Bossier City area, PACE, which is People Acting for Change and Equality, P-Flag Shreveport, and Together Louisiana. As you can tell, our church does a lot of work for the community and for people in need. I hope you all have a very good first of school week, and I'm going to turn you over to Susan.
Thank you, Reverend Barbara. I love that. And thank you, Sally. Yes, as Sally was saying earlier, we are going to resume. We have taken a little break with our children and youth religious education classes. We're going to resume those most likely on the 12th of September, and most likely they will still be on Zoom by then. And another thing that I want to do, if parents are interested, this morning in the adult religious education class, we actually did a session offering some resources on talking to kids about anti-racism. And we have covered a lot of anti-racism in our children and youth religious education classes. But if parents would be interested in doing a session on those resources and want to talk to me on the Facebook religious education group, please do. If you're not a part of that, also put that in the comments, and I'll make sure to get you connected with that group. I would really love to share some of these resources with you and to have a conversation with you about this topic and about religious education in general, and how we will eventually come back together in person, but also what we can do in the meantime. I think that is all I have this week. North Louisiana Interfaith that Sally was talking about does meet on a regular basis, and I think our next leaders meeting will be August the 31st, and will be an evening meeting because we have been doing some noon meetings lately, and we know that evening meetings might be easier for those of you who are working full time. So I'll have more information about that very soon. And meanwhile, our cluster of 5 congregations will be meeting in person at Grace on a date that right now is not in my head, and I apologize for that, but I will have that information to you in the comments before the service is over. I think that really is all I have, and thank you.
Thank you, Sally and Susan. I think the next cluster meeting is the 28th. And they're trying to have it in a large room with people distanced, but they also want to do food. So if you are planning to attend that, you need to find the, get a hold of the link and kind of do an RSVP so they can have a head count for food. And we come now to move towards worship, and I hope that you will relax into being here together. Do what you can to imagine the energy of actually sharing this space, and let your shoulders fall away from your ears. Take a few deep breaths and get here. In the shelter of this community, we gather with acknowledgement of life, sacred life, common to us all. We honor the great mystery in which we live and move and have our being, that holds us separately and also merges us together in this one great ocean of our being. Together, may we always have the heart to continue seeking the spirit of truth, healing, and compassion, that it may reach into every aspect of our being like water flowing home. In this path, we travel alone as well as with one another in beloved community. May we come to know justice rolling down like water and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream.
Love is the water that wears down the rock. Love is the water that wears down the rock. Love is the power that won't be stopped. Love is the water that wears down the rock.
Our first chalice lighting this morning is with the Nixick family. I want to thank them for being here. Don't forget to unmute.
We light this chalice to celebrate Unitarian Universalism. This is the church of the open mind. This is the church of the helping hands. This is the church of the loving heart. Together, with mind, hands, and heart, we care for the earth and for each other.
Thank you all so much. It was really nice. Thank you. In the Tao Te Ching, we read, the highest good is like water. For water benefits the 10,000 things without striving. Nothing in the world is as soft and yielding as water. Yet for dissolving the hard and inflexible, nothing can surpass it. Soft overcomes hard. Gentle overcomes rigid. Though we have all seen this to be true, few can put it into practice. Today, as we consider the ways of water, the oceans that can never be filled, as well as the spirits that can, may our chalice light represent the wisdom of nature, of time, and the ever-present wholeness that's always available to all of us. In the clear light of this chalice, we see that a single drop joins the brook, the stream, the river, and becomes a mighty sea. So do each of us gather with others and become a group strong enough to care for and change the world. I can't remember who's leading our unison affirmation.
I'll be happy to do that, Reverend Barbara.
Well, thank you. I want to make sure everybody thinks about joining in, physically saying this along with Miss Susan.
Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve human need, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the sacred. Thus do we covenant with each other.
I stood up to say that. Our habit is to say, rise in body or spirit. I have actually come up with another verse to this. Some of you may know it, and we used to do it in the congregation a little bit, but I hope you'll sing along. Mighty river of the nature of the universe carries us along. Past the rocks and rapids, you can fight it and crash, or bend it back to love and move on. Mighty river of the power of the universe, irresistible song. Teaches letting go in every moment till we find all that is one. Here's the chorus. Let that old river wrap your soul with her ever rolling rhythm. Let that old river make you whole. Give her all that you can give her. Mighty river wearing down the sharp resistance that hides our love away. All the jagged edges of our wounding and fear we rarely notice we display. Mighty river changing fluently the shape of things no one drop can bend. Shows us that together in the flow a deeper truth is revealed again. Let that old river wrap your soul with her ever rolling rhythm. Let that old river make you whole. Give her all that you can give her. We come now to have our water communion. It's very different when we're not together doing this in person. But we're going to try, again, to keep it as live and feeling as much like community as we can. So, out of the one come the many. The many are again made one. Quite often during the summer, we scatter about along the way, even if we get no farther than our own yards or homes. If we don't have a yard, we probably encounter puddles, faucets, showers, sprinklers, hoses. And if we travel a bit, just a bit, we can find car washes, fountains, pools, maybe lakes and streams. If we go even farther, oceans. We must acknowledge that in our global village, safe, clean water is rare. Somewhere between 1 and 2 billion people do not have access to clean, safe water. In this country, right now, water supply is becoming a matter of great concern. Lake Mead, which is where the Colorado River meets the Hoover Dam, is at the lowest level it has been since Lake Mead was filled by the creation of Hoover Dam in the 1930s. The Colorado River that over time wore away enough earth to form the Grand Canyon has become a shadow of its former self and no longer adequately fills the Lake Mead Reservoir. This is all the more critical because that one body of water provides for Arizona, Nevada, and California sustenance for 20 million people in this country, and is the primary source for a great deal of the farmland that currently seriously limited water source grows our nation's largest domestic supply of many fruits and vegetables. So don't think it doesn't affect us. Because we, on the other hand, live in an uncommonly water-rich part of this land and are unlikely to travel anywhere we would not be able to access the necessary supplies. Typically, there will be water of some sort everywhere we venture, even in times of drought across this land. and raging fires. Let us not forget how uncommonly and preciously fortunate we are. And let us lift our gratitude. So very different this year. The idea of coming together in some ways is a fond dream. In other ways, we are kept closer to home than we may have liked to be. Still, we mark the approaching season and change of season, the return to the school year, the covenant of our common bond, and returning to ourselves by our water ceremony. This is something that gets done in a number of Unitarian Universalist circles. When we have our district, what used to be a district, Summer Institute, in that people from all over the 5-state area or farther, if they had traveled to be presenters or just to attend, would bring their water and contribute it to that pool, that ceremonial water. And then those of us who were at that event would bring it back to be part of this water as well. Over the years, there are all kinds of congregations, all kinds of Unitarians and Universalists represented in our ceremonial water. This morning, we have a number of people from this congregation who are going to participate in our water ceremony. This first water comes from my house. Places where water was leaking through roofs that got repaired. And back into manageable quantities in our overabundant supply of water. I'd like to invite the Russell Peck family to share their water. Oh, wait. Our response. All streams flow into the sea, yet the sea is never full. To the place the streams come from, there they return again. Now, I would like to invite the Russell Pecks to join us. That's going to be our response each time, okay? And would y'all like to share your water story?
Good morning. We're the Russell Peck family. I'm Jennifer.
I'm Jackson. I'm Ava.
And I'm James. And our water represents the melted snow and ice from February that we all experienced together, that we're used to having a water tap turn on and shower, be able to take a shower, and we all together found interesting new ways to get water, but it was still right out in the yard. We just had to go out and scoop some up. And so we're so thankful now that we're back in a place where we can take a shower and not think about it, but it sure did bring a new appreciation for our utilities.
Thank you. So virtually, we will add your water. All streams
flow into the sea, but the sea is never full. To the place the streams come from, there they return again.
So I guess the timing, maybe I should let the stories happen, pour the water, and then we'll do the response, okay? Thank you so much for your understanding. Let's see, now we have the Carlisle family.
Hi, good morning. I'm Pam Carlisle.
I'm Natalie Carlisle, and this is my dad, Rick.
And we want to talk about, we had an amazing experience with all different kinds of bodies of water when we traveled to where I'm from New Hampshire, and it was, of course, very special because we got to see my parents, Natalie's grandparents, for the first time since Christmas of 2019. And we're real lucky we fit that in between the pandemic crises. And so the special part of this for me that I wanted to talk about is we got to go to Boston and to the New England Aquarium. That was where one of my very favorite places as a child. And I was always crazy about whales and dolphins. I thought I might be a marine biologist one time, and my uncle studied endangered whales, and I always admired him. And so we went to the aquarium, and we also went on a whale watch. We saw 4 types of whales and dolphins, and it was the best day ever. Okay, Natalie. Okay, do you want to talk about going to the beach?
We went to the beach and we saw some animals, and we saw some crabs, and we had a great time, and no seagulls took our sandwiches.
No seagulls took our sandwiches.
The water is wide. I cannot get over. Neither have I wings to fly. But give me a boat that will carry 3, and we each shall row, my true loves and I.
Okay, thank you.
Boy.
Thank you.
Let me mute.
Those are wonderful stories. I want to let everybody know that if you have actual water that you've saved from your summer that you would like to contribute, we're going to leave a box outside the office for another week, so you can bring it and drop it off, and we will include it with this water for our future ceremonies. Thank you, and take it away, Brittany.
All streams flow into the sea, yet the sea is never full. To the place the streams come from, there they return again.
Thank you. This water was contributed by Kevin Henry. Kevin has been working here painting for months and months and months, the hallways and the social hall, and is very near done with all of that. But this is from the water cooler in the office, which he says has sustained him through a hot summer while he's been doing this work. All streams
flow into the sea, yet the sea is never full. To the place the streams come from, there they return again.
Miss Susan?
So in more recent times, we have been able to travel this summer. We've had a trip to DC to see my father-in-law, which was wonderful. We had a trip to Hot Springs to celebrate our anniversary. But my water this morning is from my kitchen sink in my home, in our home, where this summer we got to see our son in person for the first time in 2.5 years. And so that for me is incredibly meaningful water. Thank you.
And this is Miss Susan and her family's water.
sea, yet the sea is never full. To the place the streams come from, there they return again.
Susan Yellett, would you like to share with us?
Yes, good morning. So my water that I brought to the church comes from 3 different lakes in Oregon. The first is Klamath Lake, which is right next to my family's ranch. And then the other 2 are reservoirs, Gerber Reservoir and Juanita Lake, all up there in southern South Central Oregon. And these 3 lakes provide recreational fishing and camping for people, and also the water for our farmers and the indigenous people of the Klamath Basin. They have a lot of salmon near the river that goes to Klamath Lake and the sucker fish that are endangered. So it's a very important water area. And I really enjoyed being there this summer.
Thank you. And the Elliots brought their water actually too.
To the sea, but the sea is never full. To the place that streams come from, there they return again.
And now our board president, Sally.
Good morning. I went to visit my granddaughter in Flagstaff, Arizona. Drove across the desert through the mountains going towards the north rim of the Grand Canyon. Behind me, you will see a section of my drive that was a fire that destroyed this area 15 years ago, and this is the amount of growth that's been able to grow back. So I did not steal any of Arizona's water. I think they need it. So you can say it's virtual water. And if I could take some from Louisiana back to Arizona, I would do it.
All right, so we will virtually do Sally's water.
All streams flow into the sea, yet the sea is never full. To the place the streams come from, there they return again.
So I know that many of you, were we here in the sanctuary together, would be participating and telling the stories of where you've been. Some sharing troubled stories and some things that are great fun. I see that we have a comment from Facebook. Aloha and water blessings from Miriam Trahan on Maui. So we will add water for Miriam Trahan on Maui. Thank you. I can't imagine that you would run short in Maui. Go ahead.
Sea, yet the sea is never full. To the place the streams come from, there they return again.
So I will add for you who have not said anything today, a little water. And if you will hold in your hearts your own memories of summer and the places that you've been, the importance of the water that was there for you, and the things we need to do to care for our community, one another, and coming back together.
place the streams come from, there they return again.
Thank you, everybody. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. How could drops of water know themselves to be a river, yet the river flows on? From Leonardo da Vinci. How can we know ourselves to actually be the continued unfolding of sacred creation, though we change each day and we see that life goes on? Let us endeavor to recognize the part we play in the flow. Mind you, we are not now, nor have we ever been, who we think ourselves to be. When you put your hand in a flowing stream, you touch the last that has gone before and the first of what is still to come.
We are living the great big dipper. We are washed by the very same rain. We are swimming in the stream together, some in power and some in pain. We can worship this ground we walk on, cherishing the beings that we live beside. Loving spirits will live forever. We're all swimming to the other side. Loving spirits will live forever. We're all swimming to the other side.
Good morning. For today's meditation, let yourself find a comfortable position so that your body can be balanced and your spine straight. Begin with a deep, comfortable breath, shifting your attention to your heart space. And imagine breathing in and out of your heart. Allow your breath to deepen and slow. Allow your breath to be soft and kind. In this quiet presence, as moment flows into moment, reflect. Today, I behold the many streams that have joined to make the story of my life. Thoughts blending into patterns of belief and identity, memories and dreams, things hoped for and things lost. The ongoing interplay of mind and heart, of self and other. I have had beliefs that seemed carved in stone, only to find them soften and yield to time. I have held that which I hoped would never change, only to see it dissolve, becoming a dim and half-forgotten memory. I have seen much change. It has been far too easy to see that change as loss, to see my life as having no sure foundation, no enduring meaning, no stepping stones for hope. Today I pause and enter the sacred space of heart. Here I will drink from the well of life's deepest wisdom. My heart speaks. What you have perceived as loss is the endless flowing becoming. What you have perceived as separate are the waves of a single ocean. What you have perceived as groundless is like the vast and open sky that allows the clouds to dance and surrender themselves as rain. Life is endless flow, every moment infinitely full, and every moment emptying itself without hesitation into this moment now. Life is endless flow, and you are life. In this sacred moment, I will embrace the wisdom of the heart. I will be the flow of life in all its many forms and stories. May joy like a river flow through me. May peace like an ocean be my presence. May I be a thunderstorm that speaks the voice of truth and becomes the rain that waters the seeds of a world more beautiful. May I be a well of healing water that brings hope and vision to beloved community. And may I be a rainbow celebrating the limitless promise of our becoming. In this sacred moment, I center in the living flow of breath. Breathing in, I touch the fountainhead of mystery. Breathing out, my heart overflows its joyful gifts to all of life.
Oh, the water. Oh, the water. Oh, the water. Get myself from the mountain stream.
Barbara, you're muted.
I was saying, thank you, Larry. It's always perfect. It's really nice to have a number of faces on our Zoom call this morning. And I hope those of you on Facebook are feeling connected. And I thank you for your comments. A few moments ago, I mentioned the Grand Canyon and the river that helped cut that huge sculpture into the earth. Water cuts through rock, not because it is strong, but because it is persistent. Just like water, time is persistent. It wears on us and can often cut across our lives, with the ticking of the clock being our dripping water, like in the Zen story. The results are sometimes great loss, like Larry mentioned, and other times subtle shiftings we don't notice occurring until maybe a chunk of conviction here or an emotional wall there fall under its impact, that gradual dripping and ticking and motion. COVID time has been wearying in ways that we might think of, in ways that what we think of as ordinary time would never have been. It seems to have worn thin a great many emotional arsenals, the stores that we keep, the our capacity to hold tension has something else to contend with consistently and constantly. It's carved furrows on brows and canyons into many livelihoods. We don't have to look far or hard to see the damage this time has inflicted. That does not, however, have to be all that we see. The great, very early 20th century Russian writer Leo Tolstoy wrote, "Truth, like gold, is to be obtained not by its growth, but by washing away from it all that is not gold." Gold is not to be obtained without washing away from it all that is not gold. Rather than thinking of ourselves like tires or something whose tread wears thin right along with our effectiveness, we can watch for the ways we're being worn, maybe like stones in a tumbler, rough edges being polished to reveal all the true colors and beautiful characteristics. I think water does a more refined job of polishing than tumblers do. It particularly wears away the weaknesses and highlights the strength. It carries away the crustiness and debris and often leaves behind what is solid and well-rounded. I know you've seen rounded river rocks before. This one's granite, like a place I used to spend my summers. Of course, we don't want to be molded to look like everyone else, just another orb in the scheme of things. And we are seemingly by nature inclined to resist whatever outside forces might be working on us to smooth us out. Sometimes we are the stones. Sometimes we are the water. A lot of us might prefer to think of ourselves in our snowflake uniqueness rather than as one drop among many in the bucket or the ocean. We want our individuality to be appreciated and supported rather than swept aside by the tides or the currents. At the same time, we want community with those who are somewhat like us. I think that's part of why young people are so drawn to create community online. By plugging into the internet and searching across distances, across the country or even around the world, they can find others who think more like they do than maybe they can find in their immediate environment. People who have values that are the same or whatever makes them feel less alone in the world, maybe less freaky. Not like the odd man out, so to speak, but still keep their distinctiveness in their local context. They can stand out here and still feel like they belong someplace. One thing about this that concerns me is that a great deal of what needs to be done for our planet, for democracy, for our own health and that of others, for safety, occurs in the local context. And if we feel no need to build community, authentic relationships with those around us in our neighborhood, our organizations, our city or state, we will not learn how to communicate with those not so much like us. not in real ways, we will not be actively developing our skills to see, to know, and to understand those with whom we share geographical proximity, where all the work is done. All that work, anyway. In so many important instances, it becomes critical to think of oneself as a drop rather than a snowflake. Water does change form, so do we. It does not lose its essence in any of its forms, and neither do we. Not essentially, not truly, not when we are operating from the core that is our true nature. What is worn away may be exactly what's been keeping us from ourselves. We are needed. You are needed. So am I. No one else brings exactly what we carry within ourselves. At the same time, we need to get better at knowing we are just like everybody else. Just as precious, just as common. We are each an integral part of something more vast than we will probably ever understand. That paradox of the snowflake and the drop of water, the water and the stone, those paradoxes are easier to hold that golden self. When we can open, when we can let be washed away the stuff that stands in the way, when we can understand sometimes we're the stone and sometimes we're the water, sometimes we're the snowflake, sometimes we're the drop. What gets worn away may be in our way. What gets worn away may be the hardest lessons we ever learn. What gets worn away may reveal the beauty that is truly you. It all comes together. It all makes one river bigger than we can imagine. So I have another song for you to sing along with me. It's much shorter. This river won't fit in the mainstream. It's bigger than any life we've ever known. This river won't fit in the limits of human dreams. But from every act of love, its waters flow. Gonna let my thinking settle toward my heart. Gonna let my fears turn into faith when I see the light come up from my own dark. Oh, no, no, you can't make sense of it. But the fact is, this river won't fit. Try it again. This river won't fit in the mainstream. It's bigger than any life we've ever known. This river won't fit in the limits of human dreams. but from every act of love, its waters flow. Gonna let my thinking settle toward my heart. Gonna let my fears turn into faith when I see the light come up from my own dark. Oh, no, no, you can't make sense of it, 'cause the fact is, this river won't fit. No, the fact is, this river won't fit. No, the fact is, this river won't fit. All streams flow into the sea, yet the sea is never full. To the place the streams come from, there they return again. Sometimes we are the stones, sometimes the water. Sometimes we're the water bearers. If we are the stones, let love be the water. If we are the water, may we be water that transforms with our love. If we are the water bearers, may we carry the joy and beauty of the truth that that spark lives in us all. Then let's be cooperative, collaborative, and create community everywhere we go, so that we can increase the hope of this world, great or small. Be the water, be the light, be the crown. See y'all soon.